Dr. Kim Tae-hyun looked out the window of the human ship UES Harmony. Stars filled the dark space around them. He had waited 3 years for this day. Today, aliens would visit their ship for the first time. The aliens called themselves the Valari. They were smart and peaceful. Their ships looked different from human ships. The Valari grew their ships instead of building them. The ships looked alive with smooth curves and soft colors. Kim worked as a scientist who studied alien life. He had read every report about the Valari. They had blue skin that looked like crystal. They were tall and thin. Their eyes were big and showed their feelings easily. Most important, they seemed to be friendly. Captain Lee Dongwoo walked into the room. He wore his best uniform. Today was important for all humans. If things went well, humans and Valari could be friends. If things went wrong, there might be war. "Are you ready, Kim?" the captain asked. Kim nodded. He had practiced what to say many times. He knew the Valari language a little bit. He also knew their customs. The Valari did not like loud noises. They moved slowly and carefully. They thought before they spoke. Lieutenant Park Ji-ho came in next. He was in charge of keeping everyone safe. Park looked worried. He did not trust aliens yet, but he would follow orders. "The Valari ship is getting close," Park said. "They will be here in 1 hour." Kim felt excited and scared. He had studied aliens his whole life, but he had never met one face to face. The captain's voice came over the ship's speakers. "All crew members prepare for alien visitors. Remember your training. Be polite, move slowly. Do not make sudden movements." Kim went to his lab to check everything one more time. His lab was clean and organized. He had prepared gifts for the Valari. He chose things that showed human culture, but would not scare them. Dr. Song Mi-young was in the next lab. She worked on military science. She made things to help human soldiers fight better. Today she was hiding her work. The Valari were peaceful. They might not like weapons. "How do you feel about meeting them?" Song asked Kim. "Nervous," Kim said, "but excited too. This could change everything for humans." Song nodded. She understood. Her lab was full of secret projects. Some were dangerous. She made sure everything was locked away. 1 hour later, alarms rang softly through the ship. The Valari ship had arrived. Kim watched through the window as the alien ship came close. It was beautiful. It looked like a giant flower made of metal and light. The Valari ship attached to the human ship carefully. Special tubes connected the two ships so the aliens could walk over safely. Captain Lee stood at the entrance with his best officers. Kim stood nearby with other scientists. Everyone was quiet. Everyone was ready. The door opened slowly. The first Valari to enter was tall and moved like water. Her skin was blue and seemed to shine from inside. Her eyes were large and purple. She wore clothes that looked like they were made from the same material as her ship. Behind her came 3 more Valari. 2 were guards. They were bigger and stronger looking. The 4th was older and carried what looked like a computer. "Welcome to the human ship, Harmony," Captain Lee said slowly and clearly. "I am Captain Lee Dongwoo." The female Valari stepped forward. When she spoke, her voice sounded like music. "I am Ambassador Nari of the Valari Council. Thank you for inviting us to your ship." Kim was surprised. Nari spoke human language very well. She was also younger than he expected. Most Valari leaders were old. Nari looked like she might be young for her people. "This is Dr. Kim Tae-hyun," the captain said. "He will show you around our ship and answer your questions." Nari looked at Kim with interest. Her big purple eyes seemed to see everything about him. "Dr. Kim," she said, "I have read your papers about alien biology. Very interesting work." Kim felt his face get warm. He had not expected her to know his work. "Thank you, Ambassador Nari. I have studied your people too. I hope to learn much more." Nari smiled. When she smiled, her crystal skin seemed to glow a little brighter. The group began walking through the ship. Kim explained how humans lived and worked in space. Nari asked many questions. She was especially interested in human food and drinks. "Humans consume many different liquids," Nari said. "What effects do they have on your bodies?" Kim explained about water, juice, coffee, and other drinks. He told her how some drinks gave humans energy. Others helped them relax. "This is very different from Valari customs," Nari said. "We consume only water and nutrients. We do not use substances that change how we think or feel." They visited the dining room, the work areas, and the exercise room. Nari seemed most interested in the medical bay. She asked many questions about human biology and medicine. Dr. Song joined them for part of the tour. She was careful not to mention her military work. She only talked about medicine and healing. Human bodies are very different from ours, Nari said to Song. You are much stronger physically, but we are stronger mentally. Perhaps we can learn from each other, Song said politely. As they walked, Kim noticed that Nari often looked at the human men on the ship. She seemed curious about how they were different from Valari males. Her people did not have the same physical differences between males and females that humans had. Your species shows much variety, Nari told Kim. Each human looks different from the others. Yes, Kim said. We come from many different places on Earth. That makes us look different. Nari nodded. She seemed to be thinking about this carefully. The tour continued for 2 hours. Finally, they returned to the main meeting room. Captain Lee had prepared a special meal for the visitors. The food was simple and mild. They did not want to upset alien stomachs. Nari and her people sat carefully at the human table. They moved slowly and watched everything with great interest. This has been a wonderful day, Captain Lee said. We hope this is the beginning of friendship between our peoples. I agree, Nari said. The Valari Council will be very interested in what I have learned today. Kim felt happy. The meeting was going very well. The Valari seemed to like humans. There had been no problems. But Kim did not know that Nari was planning to explore more of the ship on her own. He did not know that her curiosity about humans was stronger than her respect for rules. And he definitely did not know about the dangerous blue liquid that Dr. Song kept locked in her secret lab. The first day of human-alien friendship was ending well. But tomorrow would be very different. As the Valari prepared to return to their ship for the night, Nari looked around the human ship one more time. Her purple eyes showed great interest in everything she saw. Until tomorrow, she said to Kim. Kim smiled and bowed slightly, following Valari custom. Until tomorrow, Ambassador Nari. The next morning came quickly. Nari woke up in her room on the Valari ship feeling excited. She had learned so much about humans yesterday, but she wanted to know more. Her advisor, an old Valari named Kalo, came to her room. Ambassador Nari, Kalo said. Today we should focus on trade agreements. The council expects results. Nari nodded, but her mind was elsewhere. She kept thinking about the human ship and all its interesting machines and people. Yes, Kilo. But first I want to explore more of their ship. I need to understand humans better before we make agreements. Kilo looked worried. Please be careful, Ambassador. We must follow proper procedures, Nari agreed. But she had already made her own plans. An hour later, she was back on the human ship. Dr. Kim met her at the entrance. Good morning, Ambassador Nari. Are you ready for today's meetings? Yes, Nari said. But first, could I see more of your ship? Yesterday was wonderful, but I feel like I only saw the surface. Kim smiled. Of course. What would you like to see? They walked through different parts of the ship. Nari asked questions about everything. She was especially interested in how humans made their tools and machines. During the tour, they passed the medical section again. Nari remembered all the interesting equipment she had seen there yesterday. Dr. Kim, she said, could I spend some time studying your medical area? As a scientist myself, I find human medicine very interesting. Kim looked pleased. That would be wonderful. Dr. Song can answer your technical questions better than I can. They found Dr. Song in her lab working on some kind of chemical mixture. Dr. Song, Kim said. Ambassador Nari would like to learn more about human medicine. Song quickly put away what she was working on. Of course. I would be happy to explain our methods. Song showed Nari around the medical lab. She explained human anatomy and how they treated diseases. Nari was fascinated by everything. Your healing methods are very direct, Nari said. Valari medicine works differently. We use mental techniques mostly. That sounds amazing, Song said. Perhaps we can share knowledge. After an hour, Kim had to leave for a meeting with Captain Lee. Song also had work to do. Ambassador Nari, Song said. Please feel free to look around more. Just be careful not to touch anything dangerous. Of course, Nari said. Thank you for your trust. Song and Kim left Nari alone in the medical area. They thought she would just look at the equipment and maybe ask questions later. But Nari's curiosity was much stronger than they knew. As soon as she was alone, Nari began exploring areas that had been locked during the official tour. She found storage rooms full of medical supplies. She found computers with information about human biology. Then she found a door that was locked differently from the others. It had a special security system. This made Nari very curious. Valari technology was more advanced than human technology in many ways. Nari had tools that could open human locks easily. She used one of these tools to open the special door. Inside was Dr. Song's secret military laboratory. Nari's eyes went wide as she looked around the room. There were weapons, but not the kind that shoot bullets. These were chemical weapons. Drugs that could make humans stronger or faster or more aggressive. She walked carefully around the room, looking at everything. Most of the chemicals were in containers with warning labels. But one container caught her attention. It was a large bottle filled with bright blue liquid. The liquid seemed to glow slightly like Valari biolights. The container had no warning labels. It just had a number. Combat Stim Alpha 7. Nari was very thirsty. The air on the human ship was drier than what Valari were used to. The blue liquid looked refreshing, like the energy drinks that humans had shown her yesterday. She picked up the container and looked at it closely. It smelled pleasant, like flowers and mint. There was no bitter smell like other chemicals in the room. Nari thought about what she should do. She knew she should not drink unknown substances. But her scientific mind was curious, and she was very thirsty. She decided to take just a small taste to study it. The liquid tasted wonderful. It was sweet and cool, with a slight fizzy feeling like carbonated water. It made her feel immediately refreshed, so she took another sip. Then another. Before she knew it, she had drunk almost half the container. At first, Nari felt great. The liquid seemed to give her energy. Her mind felt sharper. Her body felt stronger. She felt like she could run fast or lift heavy things. But then something changed. Heat began building in her chest. Her crystal blue skin started to glow brighter than usual. Her heart began beating faster. Strange new feelings filled her mind. She began thinking about the human male she had met yesterday. Dr. Kim's kind eyes, Captain Lee's strong voice, Lieutenant Park's protective nature. But these were not normal thoughts. These thoughts were intense and overwhelming. She felt like she needed to find these men right away. She felt like she needed to be close to them. Nari tried to control these feelings, but they were too strong. The chemical was changing her body and mind in ways she did not understand. She looked in a mirror and was shocked by what she saw. Her eyes were brighter purple than ever before. Her skin was glowing with patterns she had never seen. Her normal calm expression was gone, replaced by something wild and hungry. Nari tried to think clearly. Something was very wrong. The liquid was not a normal drink. It was some kind of drug, and it was affecting her in dangerous ways. She needed help, but she also felt embarrassed. She had broken rules by entering the secret lab. She had drunk something without permission. The Valari Council would be very angry. More importantly, she was starting to feel things that Valari never felt. Her people were calm and controlled. They did not have strong physical desires, but now she was filled with aggressive animal-like urges. She wanted to hunt. She wanted to fight. Most of all, she wanted to find human males and claim them as her own. These thoughts scared her, but they also excited her in ways she had never experienced. Nari tried to leave the lab quietly, but her body was not responding normally. She was stronger than before, but also less coordinated. She knocked over a chair and made noise. The chemical was making her more aggressive every minute. Her normal, polite behavior was disappearing. In its place was something primitive and dangerous. She managed to get out of the lab and lock the door behind her, but she could not hide what was happening to her. Her glowing skin and bright eyes would give her away immediately. Nari tried to return to her room on the Valari ship, but she felt drawn to explore the human ship instead. She wanted to find the human males. She wanted to be near them. Her scientific mind fought against these urges, but the chemical was too strong. As she walked through the corridors of the human ship, crew members stared at her glowing skin and strange behavior. She moved differently now, like a predator hunting prey. Nari knew she was in serious trouble, but she could not stop herself from looking for Dr. Kim and the other human males. The accidental consumption of Combat Stim Alpha 7 was about to turn a peaceful diplomatic mission into something much more dangerous and complicated, and Nari was about to discover that some mistakes cannot be undone. 2 hours had passed since Nari drank the blue liquid. The effects were getting stronger every minute. Dr. Kim was in a meeting with Captain Lee when the first reports came in. "Sir, a young crew member said over the radio. Something is wrong with the alien ambassador. She's acting very strange. Captain Lee frowned. Strange how? She's glowing much brighter than before, and she's moving around the ship like she's looking for something. Or someone. Kim felt worried. Where is she now? Deck 7 near the crew quarters. Kim and Captain Lee hurried to find Nari. When they found her, they were shocked by what they saw. Nari's crystal blue skin was glowing so brightly it lit up the dark corridor. Her purple eyes seemed to burn with inner fire. She moved with quick, aggressive motions that were nothing like her calm behavior from yesterday. When she saw Kim and Captain Lee, her eyes locked onto them with intense focus. Dr. Kim, she said, but her musical voice was now deep and husky. Captain Lee, I have been looking for you. She walked toward them with smooth, predatory movements. Kim noticed that she seemed stronger and more dangerous than before. Ambassador Nari, Captain Lee said carefully, are you feeling well? Nari smiled, but it was not her gentle smile from yesterday. This smile was hungry and wild. I feel better than I have ever felt, she said. Human males are very interesting. Much more interesting than I realized. She reached out toward Kim with one glowing hand. Kim stepped back automatically. Ambassador, Kim said, something is wrong. This is not normal behavior for your people. Nari laughed. The sound was beautiful but also dangerous. Normal is boring, she said. I want to understand humans better, especially human males. Captain Lee activated his emergency radio. Lieutenant Park, please come to Deck 7 immediately. Bring medical support. Nari heard this and her expression changed. Her eyes narrowed like an angry animal. You think I am sick? She asked. You think you need to protect yourselves from me? Before anyone could answer, Nari moved with incredible speed. She grabbed a metal pipe from the wall and bent it easily with her bare hands. I am not sick, she said. I am better, stronger, more alive than any Valari has been in thousands of years. Kim realized that whatever had happened to Nari, it had made her physically dangerous. Normal Valari were not as strong as humans, but Nari now seemed much stronger than any human. Lieutenant Park arrived with 3 security officers and Dr. Song. When Dr. Song saw Nari's glowing skin and aggressive behavior, her face went pale. Oh no, Song whispered. What did you do? Nari turned to look at Dr. Song. Her glowing eyes seemed to see right through the human woman. You know what happened to me? Nari said. It was not a question. Song nodded slowly. You found my lab. You drank something you shouldn't have. The blue liquid, Nari said. It tasted wonderful. It made me feel wonderful. What was it? Song looked at Captain Lee nervously. It was Combat Stim Alpha 7, a military enhancement formula. What does it do? Captain Lee demanded. It's designed to make human soldiers stronger, faster, and more aggressive in combat situations. It also enhances territorial and mating instincts. Kim felt his stomach drop. Mating instincts? Song nodded. The formula makes human males more protective and human females more selective, but it was never tested on aliens. Nari had been listening to this conversation with growing interest. So you gave me a formula to make me want to mate with human males? She asked. It wasn't intentional, Song said quickly. You weren't supposed to find that lab. Nari smiled her dangerous smile again. But I did find it. And now I am changed. She looked at the human males around her. Kim, Captain Lee, and Lieutenant Park all took a step back. I can smell your fear, Nari said, but I can also smell something else. Something that calls to the new parts of me. Lieutenant Park tried to move between Nari and the other men. Ambassador, we need you to come with us to the medical bay. We need to help you. Nari looked at Park with interest. You want to protect them from me. How noble, but unnecessary. She moved faster than any human could follow. In 1 second, she was across the room. In the next second, she had gently but firmly pushed Park aside. I do not want to hurt anyone, she said, but I will not be caged. Captain Lee tried to reason with her. Ambassador Nari, your people will be very worried about you. Let us help you return to normal. Normal? Nari laughed again. Captain, I have spent my entire life being normal. Calm, controlled, peaceful. But now I feel truly alive for the first time. She walked closer to Kim. Dr. Kim, you study alien biology. What do you think is happening to me? Kim tried to think like a scientist instead of like a frightened man. The formula was designed for humans, he said, but your biology is different. It might be affecting you in unexpected ways. Yes, Nari said, very unexpected, but not unwelcome. Just then, Kilo and the other Valari appeared at the end of the corridor. When they saw Nari's transformed appearance, they stopped in shock. "Ambassador Nari," Kilo called. "What has happened to you?" Nari turned to face her own people. When she spoke to them, her voice was cold. "I have evolved, Kilo." "This is not evolution," Kilo said. "This is contamination. The humans have poisoned you." Nari's eyes flashed with anger. "The humans have freed me." She turned back to the humans. "My people will want to blame you for this. They will say you attacked me with biological weapons." Captain Lee felt panic rising. If the Valari thought humans had deliberately drugged their ambassador, it could mean war. "It was an accident," he said. "We never meant for this to happen." "I know," Nari said. "But Kilo does not understand accidents. He only understands rules and protocols." Kilo spoke in the Valari language to Nari. His voice was angry and demanding. Nari answered him in the same language, but her voice was defiant. Dr. Song stepped forward. "I can make an antidote," she said. "I can reverse what the formula did to you." Nari looked at Song with surprise. "You would do that?" "Of course," Song said. "This was my mistake. I should fix it." But Nari shook her head. "What if I don't want it reversed?" Everyone stared at her. "What if I like being this way?" Nari asked. "What if this is better than what I was before?" Kilo spoke angrily in Valari again. This time the two Valari guards moved toward Nari. But Nari was no longer the weak, peaceful ambassador they remembered. When the guards tried to grab her, she moved like lightning. She threw both guards across the corridor without hurting them seriously, but making it clear that she was now much stronger than they were. "I will not go back to the old way," she told Kilo in human language so everyone could understand. "I will not be weak and boring and half alive anymore." Kilo looked at the humans with fury. "You have destroyed our ambassador. This is an act of war." Captain Lee tried to calm the situation. "We can work together to fix this." "No one needs to declare war," but Nari laughed. "War might be exactly what we all need." Her glowing eyes looked at each person in the corridor. "Something is coming," she said. "I can feel it. Something dangerous that wants to hurt both humans and Valari. And when it comes, you will need someone like me. Someone who is not afraid to fight." Kim felt a chill. "What do you mean something is coming?" Nari tilted her head as if listening to sounds no one else could hear. "Ships," she said. "Many ships. Moving toward this area of space. They do not belong to humans or Valari." Captain Lee immediately activated his long-range sensors. What he saw on the screen made his blood run cold. A large fleet of unknown ships was approaching their position, and they were moving fast. The alarm bells began ringing throughout both ships. The unknown fleet was getting closer. Captain Lee stared at the sensor readings. 15 ships. Large ones. They don't match any known designs. Nari closed her glowing eyes and seemed to concentrate deeply. "They call themselves the Kreth," she said. "They are hunters. They destroy other civilizations and take their resources." "How do you know that?" Kim asked. Nari opened her eyes. They were brighter than ever. "The formula didn't just make me stronger," she said. "It enhanced all my senses. I can detect their communication signals. I can understand their language." Kilo looked terrified. "The Valari Council must be warned. We must run." "There is nowhere to run," Nari said calmly. "They are faster than both human and Valari ships." Captain Lee felt his heart racing. His ship had some weapons, but not enough to fight 15 large warships. "How long do we have?" he asked. Nari tilted her head again, listening to signals only she could hear. 6 hours, she said. "Maybe less." Dr. Song stepped forward. "Nari, I need to examine you. If the formula has given you these new abilities, maybe we can understand how to use them." "Yes," Nari said, "but not here. We need to work together. All of us." She looked at Kilo. "The old ways will not save us now. We need something new." Kilo was still angry, but he could see the approaching ships on his own sensors now. "What do you suggest?" he asked Nari. "We combine our strengths," Nari said. "Valari biotechnology and human military tactics. With my enhanced abilities as the bridge between them." Lieutenant Park had been listening quietly. Now he spoke up. "What kind of enhanced abilities?" Nari smiled. "Watch." She walked over to a computer terminal and placed her hands on it. Her glowing skin seemed to connect with the machine. Information flowed across the screen faster than any human could read. I can interface directly with your computers now, she said. I can process information at incredible speeds. I can coordinate multiple systems at once. She moved to the Volari communication device that Kilo carried. When she touched it, the device began glowing with the same light as her skin. I can also enhance Volari biotechnology, make it work better and faster. Dr. Song looked amazed. The formula didn't just affect your body, it changed how your brain works. Yes, Nari said, and it gave me something else. Strategic thinking. I can see patterns in combat that I never could before. Captain Lee made a decision. What do you need from us? First, we need to move both crews to the stronger ship. The Volari ship has better shields, but the human ship has better weapons. We can't combine the ships, Kilo said. Our technologies are not compatible. Nari's eyes flashed. They are now. Through me. She explained her plan. She would use her new abilities to connect human weapons to Volari power systems. She would coordinate the defense using both human tactical knowledge and Volari biotechnology. But, she said, looking directly at Dr. Song, I need more of the formula. More? Song looked horrified. It could kill you. We don't know the long-term effects. The effects are permanent anyway, Nari said. But I need to be stronger to fight the Kreth. One enhanced Volari might not be enough. Kim understood what she was thinking. You want to enhance other Volari? Some will volunteer, Nari said, looking at the younger Volari guards. When they understand what's coming. Kilo shook his head. I cannot allow this. It goes against everything our people believe. Your people will be dead if you don't allow it, Nari said firmly. Just then, a new alarm sounded. The enemy fleet had increased speed. They would arrive in 4 hours, not 6. Captain Lee looked at his officers. We need to make a decision now. Lieutenant Park stepped forward. I volunteer to work with Ambassador Nari. Whatever she needs, Dr. Kim nodded. Me too. Dr. Song looked troubled, but she agreed. I'll prepare more formula, but in smaller doses. We can't risk killing anyone. One of the young Volari guards spoke up. I will volunteer for enhancement. Kilo looked shocked. Hara, you don't understand what you're saying. The guard named Hara looked determined. I understand that our people need warriors now, not philosophers. Nari walked over to Hara and placed a glowing hand on his shoulder. Are you sure? There is no going back. I'm sure, Hara said. Over the next 2 hours, they worked frantically. Dr. Song prepared a weaker version of the formula. Nari guided the process, using her enhanced knowledge to make it safer. Hera was the first to drink it. The effects were similar to what happened to Nari, but not as extreme. His skin began to glow softly. His eyes became brighter. His movements became faster and more coordinated. 2 more Volari volunteers followed. Soon there were 4 enhanced Volari working with the human crew. Nari used her abilities to connect human computers to Volari biosystems. The combined technology was more powerful than either race had achieved alone. She also taught the enhanced Volari how to think tactically. Their enhanced brains could learn human military strategies very quickly. Captain Lee watched in amazement as Nari coordinated the defense preparations. She moved from station to station, connecting systems and giving orders with incredible efficiency. She's like a living computer, he said to Kim. Better than a computer, Kim replied. She can think creatively and adapt to new situations. With 2 hours left before the Kreth arrived, Nari called everyone together. The enemy is powerful, she said. They have destroyed many civilizations, but they have never fought enhanced Volari working with humans. She showed them the tactical plan she had developed. It was complex and risky, but it might work. The Kreth expect their enemies to be afraid, Nari said. They use fear as a weapon, but we will not be afraid. She looked at each person in the room. We will be aggressive. We will attack them before they attack us. Kilo still looked unhappy. This goes against every Volari principle. Then maybe it's time for new principles, Nari said. Captain Lee studied the battle plan. It's dangerous. We'll be outnumbered 3-1. Numbers don't matter if we're faster and smarter, Nari replied. And we will be both. With 1 hour left, they took their positions. The enhanced Volari interfaced directly with the ship's systems. The human crew operated the weapons. Nari coordinated everything from the command center. She looked at Kim one more time. The aggressive chemical effects had evolved into something deeper. She no longer felt the wild, uncontrolled desire from before. Now she felt protective. She wanted to keep these humans safe. She wanted to keep both their peoples alive. "Dr. Kim," she said softly, "if we survive this, I want you to know something." "What?" "This accident changed me in ways that go beyond the formula. It made me care about humans, about you specifically." Kim felt his heart skip. "Nari, I know it's complicated," she said. "A relationship between our species seemed impossible before, but maybe the impossible is exactly what we need now." Before Kim could respond, the sensors showed enemy ships dropping out of faster-than-light travel. The Kreth had arrived. "Battle stations," Captain Lee commanded. Nari's skin blazed with bright light as she prepared to coordinate the most important fight in the history of both species. The Kreth ships appeared on the sensors like dark shadows against the stars. They were huge, with sharp edges and aggressive designs. Everything about them looked built for war. Nari stood in the center of the command room, her glowing skin connected to multiple control systems. Through her enhanced senses, she could hear the Kreth communications. "They're sending a demand for surrender," she reported. "They want both our ships and all crew members as slaves." Captain Lee gripped his command chair. "What's our response?" Nari smiled with her new predator's grin. "We show them what enhanced Valari and humans can do together." The first phase of her plan began immediately. Instead of waiting for the Kreth to attack, the combined human-Valari ship moved toward the enemy fleet at maximum speed. "Are you sure about this?" Lieutenant Park asked. "We're flying straight at 15 warships." "Trust me," Nari said. Her hands moved across the control surfaces faster than human eyes could follow. The Kreth expect prey behavior. They don't expect predators. Through the bio-neural connection she had created, Nari coordinated every system on the ship simultaneously. Human weapons powered by Valari energy cells. Valari shields reinforced with human armor plating. Enhanced Valari crew members operating human tactical computers. The Kreth fleet began forming an attack formation. They moved slowly, confident in their superior numbers. "Now," Nari said. The ship suddenly changed direction, using a combination of human maneuvering thrusters and Valari biomechanical systems. They accelerated beyond what either technology could achieve alone. "Impossible," one of the Kreth commanders said over their communication channel. Nari translated his words for the human crew. The ship dove through the center of the Kreth formation, firing human weapons with Valari precision. 3 enemy ships exploded before they could react. "Phase 2, Nari announced. The enhanced Valari crew members, Hara and his companions, took control of captured Kreth communication signals. Using their enhanced abilities, they sent false orders to the enemy fleet. Half the Kreth ships turned to attack the other half, thinking they were fighting rebels. They're shooting each other," Dr. Kim said in amazement. "Confusion is a weapon," Nari replied. "The formula taught me that aggression without intelligence is weakness." But the Kreth commanders quickly realized they were being tricked. The remaining 9 ships reorganized and began chasing the human Valari vessel. "Phase 3, Nari said calmly. This was the most dangerous part of her plan. She directed the ship toward a nearby asteroid field. The Kreth ships followed, firing massive energy weapons that lit up space. "They're getting closer," Lieutenant Park reported. "Our shields won't hold much longer." "They don't need to," Nari said. As they entered the asteroid field, Nari used her enhanced abilities to calculate the exact position and movement of every rock and debris piece. She guided the ship through the field like it was empty space. The Kreth ships, built for open space combat, had trouble following. 2 more ships crashed into asteroids. 1 exploded when it hit a particularly large rock. 6 ships left, Captain Lee said. "Enough for the final phase," Nari replied. She brought the ship out of the asteroid field and turned to face the remaining Kreth vessels. This time she didn't run. "All enhanced crew members interface with weapons systems," she ordered. Hera and the other enhanced Valari connected directly to the human weapon computers. Combined with Nari's coordination, they could fire with perfect accuracy while moving at high speed. The ship danced between enemy fire like a living creature. Every shot they fired hit its target. Every enemy shot missed. Dr. Song watched in amazement. "She's turned our ship into a single organism, every part working in perfect harmony." The remaining Kreth ships tried different tactics. They spread out, attempting to surround the human Valari ship. But Nari anticipated every move. "Dr. Kim," she said without taking her attention away from the battle, "I need you to do something." Anything, Kim said. Connect to the communication system. I want you to speak to the Kreth commander. Kim was confused, but he followed her instructions. Nari boosted the signal so it would reach the enemy ships. Unknown ships, Kim said. This is Dr. Kim Tae-hyun of the human vessel Harmony. We offer you one chance to surrender. The Kreth commander's response came through Nari's translation. Humans do not give ultimatums to the Kreth Empire. You're right, Kim said, understanding Nari's plan. Enhanced humans do. At that moment, Nari demonstrated the full extent of her abilities. She took control of all ship systems simultaneously, pushed the engines beyond maximum safe power, and fired every weapon at once. The coordinated attack destroyed 3 Kreth ships in seconds. The final 3 enemy ships suddenly stopped attacking and began retreating. They're running, Lieutenant Park said with surprise. The Kreth only respect superior force, Nari explained. Now they know we are stronger than them. She opened a communication channel to the fleeing ships. Tell your empire that this space is protected by the Velari Human Alliance. Any Kreth ships that return will be destroyed. The enemy ships accelerated and disappeared into faster-than-light travel. For a moment, the command center was completely silent. Then everyone began cheering. Captain Lee looked at Nari with admiration and respect. That was incredible. That was necessary, Nari replied. But she was smiling. Kilo approached her cautiously. Ambassador Nari, the Velari Council will need a full report about what happened here. Nari nodded. Tell them that the enhanced Velari saved both our species. Tell them that evolution is not always comfortable, but sometimes it's essential. She looked at the other enhanced Velari crew members. Tell them that some of us have chosen to remain this way permanently. And tell them, she continued, that the Velari Human Alliance is now a reality, sealed in combat and proven in victory. Dr. Song approached with her medical scanners. Nari, I should check your condition. The extended use of your abilities during the battle might have caused changes. Nari allowed the examination. The results showed that her enhancement was indeed permanent but stable. You're no longer fully Velari or fully human influenced, Song reported. You're something new, something better adapted for the current galaxy. Good, Nari said, because I have plans for the future. She turned to Kim. Dr. Kim, I want to establish a permanent research station here. A place where humans and Velari can work together, sharing knowledge and developing new technologies. And I want you to lead the human side of the project, she continued. Kim felt his heart racing again, but this time from excitement rather than fear. What about us? He asked quietly. What about personal relationships between our species? Nari's glowing skin pulsed with warm light. The formula may have started as an accident, but it led to something important. It showed me that the barriers between our species are not as solid as we thought. She stepped closer to him. If you're willing to explore a relationship with an enhanced Velari, I'm interested in exploring a relationship with a human scientist. Kim smiled. I think I'd like that very much. Captain Lee cleared his throat. Ambassador Nari, what should I tell Earth Command about today's events? Tell them that humanity now has allies among the stars. Nari said. Tell them that the galaxy is dangerous, but it's also full of possibilities. She looked around at all the humans and Velari in the command center. Tell them that sometimes accidents lead to the best discoveries. 3 months later, the Velari Human Research Station was fully operational. Nari served as the first hybrid ambassador, coordinating between both species. Her enhanced abilities made her uniquely qualified for the role. Dr. Kim led the human research team, working closely with Nari to develop new technologies that combined the best of both civilizations. The formula that had started as a military experiment became the foundation for a new kind of cooperation between species. Other Velari volunteers underwent controlled enhancement, creating a new class of hybrid beings. The Kreth Empire kept their distance, having learned that the Alliance was not easy prey. And in the quiet moments between their official duties, Nari and Kim explored the growing relationship between them, proving that love could indeed bridge the gap between the stars. The accident that could have caused a war instead created something unprecedented in galactic history. A true partnership between two very different species, forged in battle and strengthened by trust. As Nari often said in her reports to both governments, sometimes the best discoveries come from the most unexpected places.